Yo, what up guys, Samuel here from the Soul Brothers, and today I just got the Jordan 34 in, the long-awaited 34, and I never really care about the box, and I really usually never go over the box, but this box is really cool, so I kind of just wanted to show you guys. So of course it says 34 here on the top, with like a holographic type of material. Here on the side you have the Jordan logo, and look at this, it's kind of cool. So it says engineered for flight here on the bottom. Kind of open her up. It's just a regular lid box, but it looks pretty cool. But anyways, the Jordan 34 is 180 bucks. So they increased the price from the Jordan 33 by $5, and that's not a huge deal. It's still pretty dang expensive. If you guys want to cop, it will be releasing on the 25th. Let's get it started off with the traction. So the traction, you have a very aggressive herringbone traction pattern. So as far as durability goes, the rubber seems really hard. It doesn't really move, and grooves are very deep. So I feel like the durability should be pretty good even for outdoor use. So that's a good sign, because you know, sometimes a lot of companies have been making the rubber really soft, especially in their more expensive models, and then making the rubber really hard on their cheaper models. So the cheaper models are going to be more versatile on most court surfaces, and then more expensive ones are going to wear out faster. That doesn't make sense, right? So that's good that Jordan brand did that. I did try it out on my wood floors. I have not played in these yet, and it didn't seem like it was getting a very good bite. It was just sliding just a little bit, and there's really no squeak. It's just a very silent traction. So hopefully it breaks in. Hopefully there's a little bit of a squeak. It's very surprising for a Jordan shoe to not have any type of squeak. That's very weird, because usually it's really squeaky. And hopefully when I go on the court, the traction bites really hard. But of course we never know until, you know, I try it out and also I break it in. So there's the outsole there. Moving on to the cushion. So the cushion is very interesting. The foam that they use, it doesn't really say what type of foam they use, but it's probably some type of Phylon. And there is a very large volume zoom in the forefoot, and you can kind of see it is exposed here, and you can see it in front of this eclipse plate. So I feel like this is a very smart idea, because, you know, of course I've been complaining, and a lot of people have been complaining that the Jordans, you know, they're usually really heavy and also a little bulky. They're saying that the Jordan 34 is one of the lightest Jordans ever created, and we'll see about that real soon. But yeah, I mean, you know, as far as cushion goes, you don't really need anything in midfoot. You know, it's mostly just for heel, right? Heel, and then the forefoot, right? And also, like, you know, they've been decoupling their outsoles for a little bit, you know, like in the 28 and also in the 29. And that's okay. I mean, it's basically the same principle, but it kind of like it bends a little bit, you know, especially I feel that when I'm running, or like I'm kind of like landing straight down like this. But with this type of system, it's basically just plastic, and it's really thin here, and it's connected. So it's not going to have that problem of separating here where the flight plate was. But also they're coring out the midsole, because the midsole also does take up a lot of weight, you know. So coring out the midsole was a great idea, and I feel like this eclipse plate is actually not a gimmick. And also really like the way it looks. It looks really cool. As far as the heel zoom unit goes, I can't really feel anything in the heel, and also as far as the foam goes, there's really no compression. You can see the eclipse plate compressing here and bending a little bit, but that you can't really feel that too much. But there is a nice little rounded shape here, so I like that. I wish the foam was a little bit softer, because in the heel there's really not much compression, but I am happy that they have this rounded shape and not an edge shape, so you know, it doesn't feel as clunky and like boot-like, you know. Forefoot zoom unit though is real nice. It feels bouncy. It's like the entire forefoot, and it feels great, you know. And I feel like, you know, when you're going off on your forefoot, and you know, maybe like from your first step or something like that, it's gonna feel very explosive, especially with this very large volume zoom unit. So as far as court feel goes, court feel I'd say is okay. The forefoot seems pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best court feel, like, you know, comparing to Kobe's or like, you know, the Curry 6 and stuff like that. But it's definitely not horrible like the LeBron 16. So I'd say it's more like pretty good court feel, you know. There also is a curved shape here in the forefoot. And not the most flexible shoe though. Not the most flexible shoe. Moving on to the materials. So the materials, it's more of like a mesh textile material, and then the forefoot, it looks like there's another material underlaying everything, and it looks like a foam type of material. And then it gets real thin here in the midfoot area. You really don't need a lot of support, and actually like any material here in the midfoot, as long as you know you have heel support and forefoot support, you know, and we'll get into support later, but it's literally one layer thick of material. So that's really cool. You have some suede touches. The suede isn't like it feels like a synthetic suede. I wish they would use a little bit nicer of a material, but it's not a huge deal. I don't really care. And then here in the tongue is more of a foam back mesh actually. And there's really no padding. It's a really thin tongue, and the tongue is actually kind of attached to the upper. As far as the padding goes here in the ankle area, they kept that to a minimum as well, but it does kind of like curve up like this, so it hugs like kind of where your Achilles is and your heel is, so that the lockdown seems really good as well. The material here in the toe area is super thin. It feels a little like cheap and a little flimsy, but it conforms to your foot really well and feels really minimal and pretty soft and nice on foot. And I'm okay with like cheap feeling materials as long as it feels great on foot. I don't think it's you know justified as far as the price goes, because it is an expensive shoe, but you know the material feels like it gets the job done. Moving on to the fit. So fit, I went true to size, and it fits perfectly. You know, lengthwise it's perfect. Widthwise, I'd say it's slightly narrow. And also watch out for the toe space. The toe space is pretty dang snug. I wouldn't say it's to the point where it's like I'm losing circulation in my foot, but it's pretty damn snug. So just watch out for that if you have like a thick foot, or if you don't like a snug fit in the forefoot. I would probably suggest going up half a size. But for me, it's a great fit. It's easy to slide on. You know, the tongue opens up a lot. You just slide your foot in. As far as laces go, you have very flat laces, and of course as far as support goes, it does come up kind of high, but like this material is real flimsy, so it didn't really feel like my ankle was supported, but we'll have to see. I'll have to plane it, of course. But lateral containment seemed good. I mean, you have this plastic clip here in the forefoot and on the lateral side, and that comes up and that feels like it cages your forefoot. And of course you have a probably an internal TPU heel counter and this leather material here in the ankle area, which that's basically all you need. And then after you have a really supportive material there for lateral support, you don't really need anything in the midfoot, you know. And Adidas was kind of doing something opposite of that. They were just putting something in the midfoot. You have a very wide base. The outrigger is actually really wide. So far it feels laterally stable. Alright, so this is something that I'm very interested in. Let's see how much this shoe weighs. 12.42. Alright, so that's like average. Super light would be like 10 to 11 ounces, but 12.44 or whatever it was is like average for me, for my size. But that's definitely way lighter than all of Jordan's shoes, you know, like all of Jordan's shoes have been like 15, 16 ounces, which is really heavy. So yeah, this definitely feels very minimal as far as the materials go. Like throughout the entire upper is super duper thin. The cordal midsole also probably sheds a lot of weight. As far as aesthetics go, this shoe looks so cool. Probably one of the best looking Jordans in my opinion. So yeah, wrapping things up, I mean, first impressions, really great. Besides the traction, I am a little worried about that, but of course we'll have to see. Hopefully it gets better as I break it in, as I play in it. But everything else seems awesome. 180 bucks is pretty expensive. Actually, that's actually really expensive, but I feel like this will be a good performer. So anyways, that's the Jordan 34. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.